a quick everyday makeup look that helps me feel more confident to get through my day. That's what our task is today. Minimal products, and as I always say when I do these videos, feel free to edit out anything that you personally don't need. I have sparse and light colored brows. I have blonde lashes. I have uneven skin tone that gets more splotchy through the day. So I might need more things and more steps than you need. So as we go through, I'm not gonna say you don't have to do this step, blah, 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 but just know upfront, if you don't need to do a particular step to help you feel confident, skip that step. But I'm gonna start off first with the Matte Veil Eyeshadow Primer from Ulta Beauty. And if you saw my last video about how to prevent mascara smudging, you will understand why this for me is an essential step, even if I am not going to be applying eyeshadow. Now today, I actually am excited because I'm trying out a new drugstore multitasking product. I actually have not even tried it. It just came in the mail yesterday, and I thought, you know what? This is the perfect scenario where you would want to use this kind of product. And I will be using a little bit of it on the eyes. So we're gonna see if it can really work on eyes, cheeks, and lips. Now, while that is setting, something that you want to concentrate on when you're doing quicker looks is think about the next step. And if you need to let something dry like I do, let's go on to something we can work on, and that is the skin. I'm going to use the Sephora Reveal the Real Skin Tint, and I did just do a video all about skin tints, and I love using a skin tint for every day, for just, you know, running errands, or like today I do have a meeting. And it's not a formal meeting. Obviously, I'm kind of casual, but it's a meeting where I'm going to be, you know, up close talking to people. And I just like to have a nice, even skin, nothing that looks makeup-y, like I really, you know, applied a glob of makeup to my face. I'm using the 101 brush from BK Beauty. This is the travel size, but I do also, I think the full size is just as good. I just happen to have this one slightly dirty sitting here, so I thought I would use this. Now with this skin tint, it is very buildable, so I always go back kind of to the center of the face where I have that extra redness and tap a little extra in. And I'm going to be using a totally translucent powder today as my setting powder. So I am not going to gain any extra coverage from my setting powder. So I want to make sure I'm happy with the coverage on my skin. I am going to add a little concealer under the eyes, but let's just blend this in. And because I'm wearing a turtleneck, it's the constant battle to keep makeup off of your turtleneck. So when I'm wearing a turtleneck, I really try to make sure I match my neck to my face as close as possible so I don't have to bring the makeup down. I will also just run a tissue kind of along my jawline when I'm all done to help further keep that makeup off of my clothes. Okay, before we go to the eyes to kind of finish those up, let's go to concealer next. I'm using the Dalton Doll Skin Genius with Reishi Mushroom Concealer. And I did apply just a little bit of almond oil under my eyes right before hopping on camera. And of course I have all my skincare on the rest of my face. But I really feel like for me to feel confident, I need to have my skin looking even, and my under eyes, that darkness under the eyes is a dead giveaway. To me, for me, myself, it looks like I just rolled out of bed if I don't do something for those under eyes. So I love this concealer because I don't have to use a color corrector with it. And I'm using today the shade Light Medium. Normally medium is my favorite when I have a little more Sunless Tanner on. It has a little more peachy tones, so a little more color correcting, but this one is just the perfect shade to kind of blend right in with that skin tint. And I'll bring what's left on the under eye kind of down onto the tops of the cheeks, just to finish canceling out any extra redness. And I'm using the BK Beauty, this is the A506 brush, but it is in the special edition packaging, so that's why the handle is red instead of its normal gray blue. Okay, I'm going to just tap out the lines on my forehead. Now let's go to the cheeks, eyes, and I'll wait to apply this to the lips till the end. But this is the new Physicians Formula. What is this called? Cheeks, eyes, and lips. That's what it's called. This is a kind of multi-stick. And I purchased the shade, what is the Sun-Kissed Rose, I believe is what it is. And I just swatched these on my hand to make sure that they're gonna be okay. So this has a contour end and a blush end. Let's start with the contour. And I feel like it's hard to make an eyes, cheeks, and lips product that isn't going to get smeary on the eyes through the day. So we will see about that if this truly is something that can stay put. I will try to remember to leave a note in the box down below of how this wore on the eyes, but I did apply the eyeshadow primer, so that should help. And I don't feel like this dries very fast. It does have that muri butter, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. So it is hydrating, but it doesn't feel super oily. All right, I'm going to use the Sigma, what is this? The F43 brush, angled. And you can, as always, if you're in a super big hurry, you could apply the blush strip right on the top of the cheek and, you know, right below, or in the contour right below, and then blend it all together. But I just find I get myself into trouble when I do that sometimes because you'll get blush on your brush and then you're blending out the contour on the rest of the face and you end up with pink forehead. And so I just think it's easier to blend one, and then I am going to actually use a different brush to blend out the blush. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Okay, I'm seeing as I blend this out, this is pretty warm. So I'm glad that I didn't go too low on my cheeks because it's not a cool contour shade, definitely more of a bronzing shade, but you can still get definition on your face. And there are four shades. I think the lightest one would probably be the coolest in tone, but I was worried that one might not show up on me. So, all right, so we've got that blended out. Yeah, pretty warm, but you know, it warmed up the complexion, gave us some life. Before I go back with, well, let's just add. So when I go back to my foundation brush, I like to keep this handy, especially when I'm in a hurry, just to kind of erase or, you know, blend out things. When you're in a hurry, you might be applying more product than you necessarily need. So always good to have an eraser on hand. All right, let's take a little bit of this in the eyes. So why is this essential for me? Because I have hooded eyes without any shadow whatsoever. My eyes just look very droopy and I look really tired. So this is kind of a necessary step for me, even if I'm using a powder bronzer. Let's try this A503 brush and see if this can just blend this out. Oh yeah, that blended nicely. As I said, the proof will be in how long this lasts through the day. I'm hoping if I set it with a little powder that we won't get, you know, smearing and smudging. Okay, so just a little bit. I think I could stand to have just a little more right here on the outer edge. I'm gonna add, I could go in with my finger here and just add a little definition. And I would say for most people, adding just a hint of definition on the eyes is just a great way to just make yourself feel a little more confident and put together. Now, I am going to add some eyeliner, but before I do that, I'm going to curl my lashes. So curling my lashes, I haven't forgotten about blush yet. Just kind of gonna finish up the eyes and then we'll go to blush. So I'm gonna use the shade Cocoa. I went back and forth on this or the bronze shade, and this is one of the newer eyeliners from Dalton. And again, same principle. The reason why I did a little shadow is I just need a little lift in this outer corner of my eyes. And if I bring a little liner into my lashes, I don't need to apply quite as much mascara. So I'm just gonna do this real quickly. And you can see I'm kind of stopping before I even get to the edge of the eye. And that is because, again, the hooded eye situation. And I just kind of want there to be this illusion that my eye is starting to go up instead of trending downward. So let's do this eye, same thing. And this one is a lot more downturned. So for me, confidence boosting makeup, it's just helping correct a few things that, you know, with age or whatever, we start becoming a little more self-conscious about certain things. And so that to me is what I love about makeup. It's not covering up your beauty. It's not turning you into something like a totally different looking person. It's just enhancing your natural beauty. Okay. Now for mascara, I just got a new tube of the Calorie mascara. You know, I love this. I should show the box a little bit longer. This is a tubing mascara and it is in the shade Black. I don't know if this one actually comes in brown, but this is my favorite if I'm going to do a one and done mascara on my upper and lower lashes. This is one that will not smudge below my lashes, which is what I have big issues with. And it is a tubing mascara, so it is going to add length, but it also, I like the brush on this one. It is a natural bristle brush. If you saw my top 5 favorite mascaras video, you will have seen me talk about this, but at the time, I didn't even have this in stock to show you in stock. Like I have a store here. It is almost like a store, let's be real. But I had not been buying any makeup for the whole month of January, so I made myself wait to restock it. And now that my other open mascaras are nearing the end of their life, I felt like I could break into this new one here. So I do love to really enhance my lashes, and to me, that is another thing that I do have long lashes, but unless I put something on them, you can't tell. So I always wished that I had been blessed with really nice dark lashes, but that was not the case for me, so that's okay. I have wonderful mascaras now that I can use and take care of that problem in no time. And today I did not put myself on a clock. I know some of you like that. Some of you, it gives you kind of heart palpitations like it does me. Just know that if I'm not explaining things, not showing things, this is one of those looks that people will say, oh, you can do in probably 10 minutes or less. And I personally love putting on makeup. So my makeup time is kind of, you know, relaxation and get ready to face the daytime. So that's why I love to take my time. It's why I like to pull out all those eyeshadow colors, and as one of you said, it's like going to art class when you watch my videos. That is just pure enjoyment to me, but I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for a moment. Let's go back and do the cheeks and brows, and then we'll assess. Okay, I never like to go straight on the cheeks with a blush, a cream blush, because I never know what's gonna happen. So this one doesn't seem to be overly pigmented. I'm going to use the 109 brush from BK Beauty today. And ooh, that's a really pretty color. Okay, do you see what a difference blush makes? Yes. So if you have not been wearing blush add a little blush to your life. And I think it is one of the things that can really just liven you up and make you look like you're awake and fresh and young and youthful. You know, they always talk about, you know, like baby cheeks being rosy, and yeah. Oh, that's a really beautiful color. Okay, so I wasn't a huge fan of the contour shade, but I have to say this blush color is gorgeous. You know what? Let's take a little bit of this. And I would recommend, if you're going to use a product on eyes, cheeks, and lips, just be careful, especially lips, eyes. You'll want to make sure you're cleaning off your product, or using, maybe go from the back of your hand like I am, because, you know, there's bacteria on our lips and, you know, our eyes. You don't want to get pink eye or some infection because you're kind of cross-contaminating, right? All right, I'm going to take my concealer brush here. Oh, that kind of worked well. Okay. Nope, no extra product. I'm just taking what's left just to brighten that up. All right, and then I'm going to tap out the lines. And now I am going to, let's powder, and then we'll do brows and lips. So for me, I do always need to powder. And I just think it not only helps set the makeup for the day, but it can just help further smooth out any texture, pores, anything like that that I have on my face. Okay, so for today, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever HD ultra fine, ultra microfine powder. And this is a finishing powder. And I'm using this because I didn't want to cover up any color that we have on the cheeks. And in fact, you know what? Sorry, this is the first time I've used this blush, so still getting used to how much color. I think I want just a smidge more, before I set it in. And this powder being a finishing powder, it's definitely one that you don't want to go in afterwards and try and add product on top of it, because it will kind of start looking splotchy. It is truly a finishing powder. So this adds a kind of like a slip to the top of the skin, so that it prevents anything externally from kind of breaking down your makeup. And then it also helps prevent some of the oils from breaking through. It's not the most oil controlling on the rest of my face, but this is a powder that I can use under the eyes. So we're going to use this all over. Okay, and like I said, making sure I don't have any extra creasing. And now let's set that in place. Whew. Might brush a little of that off. Okay, now on my eyes, they're just a hint tacky. So I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of that powder and just tap it over the crease there. And check the description box, I'll let you know how this works. Okay, let's get to brows. And I'm just gonna do one product here. It's a Cosmetics Micro Universal Taupe Brow Pen, Brow Power, that's what it is. And I am going to attempt, let's see how well I can do this without having to pull in the magnifying mirror. So again, if I have tinted my brows recently, then I have less to fill in, but I'm due for a brow tinting. I do it myself, but there's just some evenings, I usually do it at night, and by the end of the day, just sometimes, you know, I am ready to just curl up on the couch with my puppy, read a book or watch a show, turn my brain off. So let's see. My hair is recently cut, and so some of the blonde got cut off. So I'm feeling like my brows can stand for a little more color than normal because I've got more of my dark hair showing through. All right, obviously I took a break to fix my hair. So now let's finish up a couple steps. First of all, lips. Now I have such uneven lip lines that going around the edge of my lips with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, I mean, this is the quickest step and it's gonna last me, it's gonna make my lip liner last, I should say, so much longer throughout the day. And it just is that little bit, it makes a big difference to me. That big impact, small little time frame, big impact. For a lip liner today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Lifter Liner. I've selected, I think it's Big Lift. And then I'm going to go back to our blush and we'll use this as our lip color and see what that looks like. So let's use our liner. Lining the lips is something that really just adds that look, that polished look. So if you don't normally wear a lip liner, throw on a lip liner with your gloss or whatever your favorite everyday lip color or product is. I just think it is that one extra step that has a big impact. Okay, let's go in with this product now. And of course you could go straight from the stick. I think I'm going to. Let's just see how much color we get. Actually quite a lot. And it does have a slight hydrating feel, but not overly goopy or oily or anything like that. And then I think I'll take my lip liner and just blend those together. Now, one final step, if you have an extra minute, is just to take your eyeliner in a small brush. I'm going to use this one from BK Beauty. It's the 209. I haven't used this in a while. Slightly fluffy, but it has a point on it, and I'm just going to use a little bit of that liner just to fill in kind of just that outer edge and smudge out. So it's just softening that eyeliner just a little bit, and I'm going to do the same over here. So I like to go back after I've applied mascara if I have an extra minute and do this, because you can clean up any mascara smudges or anything, but it also just is that finishing little hint of smudginess. I think that can just kind of make everything look just slightly more polished. And then I'm going to take that same brush and let's go back to this, and I'm going to use a tiny bit of that bronzer shade just right on the lower lash line. And again, because I didn't apply much mascara down here, just that little bit of a smudge can help also kind of disguise any lines and darkness that you might have under eyes. All the tricks of the trade, right? And I'm going to use this just to lift. There we go. Okay. All right, so here's the finished look. And overall, I feel polished, put together, ready to go to my meeting. My skin feels nice and lightweight, and that powder just makes the skin just feel so soft and almost like rose petals. So I love that. I'm really enjoying this. I think this is a great multitasking product. So find products like this to help cut down on number of products that you need to pull out every morning, and also just number of products that you have to purchase. And if you're not somebody who's into a lot of eyeshadow or separate lipsticks, that kind of thing, I think this could be a great product to try. Thank you as always so much for watching. Check the description box down below this video. I will have links to everything that I used today and the other videos that I talked about throughout. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.